Good
How are you
afternoon.
doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Can you hear me loud and clear?
We can.
Excellent. I'm using headphones. I'm trying to get what are those things you plug into your phone and
Oh.
plug into your. I'm trying to be technical savvy now.
Oh, wow. Good on you.
Yeah, so Denise leave already?
Yeah, she just ran out. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to do some correction or clarification, better, not correction.
Okay.
Denise was talking when Morley called in about was Cranberry Portage part of it. Now, I think they were talking about two different things.
Yeah.
Because what Denise was there to do was the bridge to the funding that is taking place right now, which she's there to announce for a 60 scoop,
Yeah.
is based on the child and family in the province and the government of Canada not doing their due diligence, but stealing our children from their families and their houses and put it in, and basically selling them to the United States and many countries. But Morley was talking about residential school.
Okay.
So that's a different issue. Cranberry is considered a potential day school, so it's a different issue altogether. So the just to correct or clarify for all listeners out there, what the bridge to financing funds that Denise is announcing is the Manitoba Federation ourselves have put up $2 million in some of the revenues we've been able to earn in our private sector side, and we're putting that as an advance to citizens that have been apprehended by the child welfare system or the government, and then, as I said, disposing of our children by taking them over the border lines, selling them to the United States. And you'll see an article in the paper today where there's a copy of a certificate where you can buy basically a Métis child for $10 or $25.
Right.
And that's how they did it. They just got rid of them and treated them like cattle, and they were sold. And so that's a different issue. So that $5,000 is eligible for people that fit that criteria, and you can find that criteria in the website. Now, I'm actually in Toronto right now. I'm at the Rahul Agrawal's law firm, and we're here, of course, for the MNC's lawsuit against the Federation, against me and Clam and others for leaving the Métis National Council and then claiming we're trying to, they call it a scorched earth policy. It's just a fancy name of saying you try to destroy the Métis National Council. You try to make it where you became, the real national government, a bigger government, which is ludicrous. MMF has always been the biggest government and the farthest most recognized government anywhere when it comes to Métis government. So MNC's claim is all really on a vindictive nature, trying to destroy the Federation's name and my name and many others. But Rahul Agrawal is actually leading the claim that a 60 scoop, there's two, and I think people need to notice there's the 5,000 for sure, just right now, it's just a grant that we're giving you, so in case something happens, because we see we're losing too many of our people are dying too early, and they're never getting a chance to seek or achieve justice. So from that perspective, our cabinet and our government decided we got to do something ourselves. We can't wait for government to take forever, but doesn't mean we're not letting government get away with this. There's two court cases right now that Rahul's involved in representing us. One is the Vardy case. I think they just got clearance for moving the matter further down the courts, and we got intervener, I believe, from on that issue. I think we were able to achieve intervener status, so we can have a say on the matter as it pertains as it finds its way through the courts. And of course, we're suing ourselves. MMF has already filed a claim. We actually just got the response from the government on their defense, so I haven't had a chance to read it. It just came in this week. It's actually probably this weekend, nearing the weekend. So I'll have a chance to read it and see what they say on how they're trying to defend themselves. And I think they're, without even reading it, my guess is they're going to say, well, I had no fiduciary responsibility for Métis. It wasn't my issue. It wasn't my jurisdiction. So typical what we faced for over 100 years, both governments blaming each other, but both governments destroying us in their own ways and again, by their own actions. And clearly there's no getting away from us. We're going to pursue this thing legally. I've promised that to the people, and that's a promise that's going to be kept. So I'll keep you posted as the trials move forward and the matter of through the court system sometimes take a long time, but we'll keep you posted. But I just want to make sure that people are fully aware that the government is not going to get away with it without us fighting them and trying to get justice. But be sure if you're a 60 scoop child that you remember, that you know, or have been advised of the possibility of others that you know in the community that were scooped up between the 60s. I think it goes for about 20 years. It started in the 50s, and they called it the 60s scoop because I think that's when the major abundance of more children were apprehended and taken. So that if you were in that category, you definitely can be able to apply and get that grant of $5,000. At least if anything happens, you can know full well your government's there to have your back, and you've got some justice before you left this particular world. So
it was 1951 to 1991, so January 1st, 1951.
So really it's 40 years.
Yeah.
But again, it's something that we feel confident we will be successful. First Nations have been fortunate enough to get a settlement already, and they've dealt with that. And now we're going to look, hopefully, to get that same process with us. So moving ahead, our agendas, and then again, thank Denise for being here. Mm-hmm. I got a whack of birthdays I said that I got to say hi to. And let me start off with the most pressing one. It's not my family. It's not anybody that I'm related to. Mm-hmm. But this is such an important one. We get these special ones on our Métis Hour or at the Federation. They're special. You know, this is a century-old happy 100th birthday to Elder Terry Somerset, and they was celebrating her birthday on Tuesday, February 4th, 100 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, and she was a scrapper. She fought hard for education for Métis, and I have such great respect for her, and we sent her a nice gift, a flower arrangement, of course, on behalf of the people, a fleece blanket on behalf of the people, and a shawl. And, of course, a birthday card with a plaque and a letter. So again, our gratitude to Terry and the family, and Terry for always being there, remembering the history of how they treated our people during the time when the church was actively involved in our education, our schooling, and Terry was always fighting to make sure the Métis history and culture were prominent and recognized and respected. So I can't say enough for my gratitude to Terry, as I said, celebrating her 100th birthday. I want to move right along. I got greetings from Larry Flett, family good wishes to her granddaughter, Ailey Winterflett. So coming from Larry Flett. Mm-hmm. Also have a happy birthday going to Chile, Reber, of course, who calls on the show quite a bit.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, it's her birthday's Friday, January 31. And then happy birthday is going to Buggy Danielson, and they're celebrating his birthday today, actually, Saturday, February 1st. Big happy birthday, Bugs. I don't know by his real name. I just know that's his nickname, Buggy. But he actually works for the provincial government, and he's a firefighter. Happy 30th birthday going to Reverend Métis lawyer Genevieve Benoit. Of course, that's coming from her daddy, you know. So mm-hmm. And so it's Al's my chief of staff, but that's his daughter. And I remember Genevieve coming to our regional meetings and when she was just a child.
And the Métis Hour, she used to come all the time.
Yeah, she'd come all the time, just walking there, carrying her little bag, just a little kid, and now she's a lawyer and representing us on many cases at the Federation. So very, very, very proud of her. Happy 100th birthday is also going. I'm sorry, happy 24th birthday is going to Tyson Peranto. Thomas Peranto is his son. So happy birthday, Tyson. And also happy 64th birthday is going to Ray Roulette. That's Don Roulette's brother. 64, 1 year under me. And happy 49th birthday is going to Lisa Janai. That's my niece who's celebrating her birthday on Friday. Congratulations again, February 7th, coming from your uncle that loves you big as the sky. And happy retirement. It was actually yesterday I had a chance to join the retirement of Paul Perday. Paul, of course, a Métis banker who ran our bank for at least 20 years, 2 decades. And actually during this time, Paul was able to achieve so much awards that were given to the Louisville Capital Corporation, which was our lending institution, our bank. Mm-hmm. And so, but Paul served so many years, and I tell you, he's done a superb job in giving the brand of the Louisville Capital Corporation all of its recognition, and not only in our world, but the world outside, in the banking community and the business community. So we are able to give him some nice gifts to say thank you for all your 20 years of service. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of sad he's going, actually, because he's been with us for so long. But he has his wife to think about, his family to think about, and he said he wants to spend more time at home. So it's good to see that people have worked so long with the Federation and made such a difference of so many people's lives, and the business community knows Paul very well. So, again, a better update on CSA, the Child Special Allowance money. We're at now over $8,500,000 now. actually $8,700,000, and there's basically 299 youth, which we use the word youth, but they're adults now, and the ones that are still in care under 18, that money is entrusted into a special account with the bank where it's earning the best interest it can, and that'll be added on to the settlement when they do leave for them. So again, kudos to Mona Beers, my minister, is working hard, and all the staff are working very, very hard on that agenda. Now, there's a lot of talk right now on the tariffs, and people think, well, Métis is going to talk about it. Yes, we are going to talk about it. Tariffs going to have an impact on us. A lot of our people work in the forest industry, mining. There's all kind of different factories of industries. In fact, some of our people work in the motor vehicle buses in Winnipeg, our transit systems. We have Métis people that are working in there. So there's going to be an impact if this tariff does kick in. People are saying it's supposed to come in February 1st, but listening to our ministers that were scattered all over Washington, trying to get a better clarity of what does it mean, which areas are being fully targeted. Is every aspect of every transformation of business venture that's going across, is that all fit within that 25% tariff? So clearly, at the end of the day, we do know our oil industry is going to be impacted. So it's a big hit. It's going to be a big hit. There's going to be some financial implications for sure. Yeah. But we can also put a tariff back and understand that we take a lot of products from the United States that come into our country. Now, we're not talking $1 million or a few billion. We're talking hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars here. So the economic impact is going to be quite major. So we've got to be preparing ourselves for that. I know the industry, for example, even the price of food, as we all know, is as high as it is. It's already impacted so many people. It might even go higher because Trump is taking a tariff against Mexico. And Mexico has an abundance of products that are transferred back and forth into the countries and are part of the trade. So again, when you look at it from that concept, there is an issue coming that could impact us to a degree, but I think we need to be cautious of that. And we got to be part of the discussions. I know we've echoed our sentiments to Canada. We want to be part of this discussion. We want to make sure that our people, in whatever way they're going to be impacted, there's ways we need to make sure we're not being forgotten. Because I do understand if you look already, there's a potential stimulus package that'll be potentially notified by Canada to all citizens. And what that means really is Canada is looking at putting up some monies to help the business world, to help our business communities and our factories and our institutions, that if they will need potential Canadian government taxpayer support to keep their business active and moving forward. So I know there'll be a lot of stress because a lot of people have mortgages, they have car payments, they have families, they have kids in universities. So it's an issue that we cannot take lightly, and we can't believe it's only for those big rich people. It actually is going to impact everybody. Right. And so we need to be on the ball, and I assure you the Federation government will be watching every aspect of this and seeing what impact it will have and how far-reaching it's going to be. So keep yourself notified on our website. At the same time, listen to us on the Métis Hour. Of course, I'll be there at 12 o'clock. Right now I'm in Toronto, and the next Saturday, I'm still in Toronto, I believe. I come home after that, and I can't wait to come home. I want to get back to the office, and I know my staff have been reaching out to me quite a bit, and they want their president home. So, and I can't wait to get home. So I'll tell my lawyer here, I go all to get this thing done and get moving, and so I can get back into the thick of things and get ourselves on board on all the priorities we have at home. I also made reference yesterday. I was interviewed by I think it was City News, and we talked about the pilot project that we have with Canada. It's a temporary measures to unite families of Indigenous people separated by the Canadian border. So what, in layman terms, what this means is simplicity. They're recognizing that they need to connect the Indigenous people that reside in the United States to their Canadian families that reside in Canada side across the border. So what we've been able and fortunate enough to do based on our hardworking staff, my chief of staff been working on this file. And so what they've done now is they've been able to get Canada to recognize that Manitoba Métis Federation citizenship card. If you're an American and you applied for your Red River Métis citizenship card and you received it, based on all the rules that apply to your application. You're now eligible to use that card shortly to come across into Canada with that card as a passport, basically.
Oh.
So that's very powerful news for us. And as First Nations have been fortunate through a J Treaty, to go back and forth with their treaty card, this is the breakthrough we're seeing now for the Métis citizenship card to be recognized by Canada.
That's
so
awesome.
It's good. It's good to see that. It's good to see the Federation, of course, advancing. We have, of course, met with the Ambassador Cohen before he left. He's now retired, the United States Ambassador. He was at the MMF in early January and to say goodbye to us. And so I was very pleased to see that. And but again, we're keeping our connections with the Ambassador's office here in Canada, and we want to make sure that we continue our dialogue with them. And eventually, we're not mentioning the United States as a people, as a nation, and most of those people that are our people are citizens. We know they're our citizens, but they're called the Chippewas in the United States. So, but I think eventually you'll see that they'll come back and maybe remove themselves as a Chippewa citizen and want to come home to the Redford people as where their families are. Because a lot of their cultural aspect is really our culture. I used to go to their band offices. All I saw was MMF and Métis stuff inside their band offices. So it was good to see there. And the first Michif dictionary actually comes from there. That's our language. Oh. And the Red River Jig, as you know, in Belcourt, North Dakota, is famous for the fiddle. So it's a lot of our people. And I know a lot of them are inquiring. They want to come home. They want to be back to the nation. And because the borderline actually separated us by somebody else's doing, not ours. And don't forget the Paw Trappers Festival is coming up. That's going to be coming up shortly, February 12th to the 16th. And of course, we keep the traditions alive, and that's the team, I believe, for that Trappers Festival. Yep. And of course, the biggest dog sled race anywhere. I love watching those dogs. They take off. They're just just like little machines, man. They just take off full speed, and they go for miles and miles and miles and miles. So, and it's very well attended from a lot of racers across the United States, Northwest Territories, from all over that come in with their champion dogs to try to take home the trophy and the prizes. Of course, they're big prizes, and take home the pride to say you won the dog races at the Trappers Festival. And so one of the longest serving programs, I think it's in, I'm not sure what year it is. It's got to be in the late 40s, 49th year, 50th year maybe. I don't know. It's been a hell of a long time, maybe longer. So I don't have it on my notes here, how long it's been around.
I'm looking it up right now for you.
Okay, look for it while you're doing that.
Okay. 78th.
78 years, yep. Wow. And that's been consistent. They only had to cancel once because of the climate change has changed. There was no snow. So they couldn't believe it. They said they couldn't have the dog sled races. And they couldn't even change the tires anyway, rubber tires, because they go through swamps and everything in the race. And it's quite a long race that takes place. So again, but again, 78 is a long time. It's one of the longest serving programs and activity that's taking place in Manitoba. Yeah. But don't forget, Métis Night is happening on every Saturday. It'll be February 15th, and it's happening in the 1515 Gordon Avenue. And I'll be there. I already instructed the lawyers I'm going home. I want to make sure I'm at the Paw. We're actually going to unveil the Connor Dewar sign. We have a Connor Dewar sign. Of course, he's plays with the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's from the Paw. That's something we should all be proud of. He's an Indigenous player, a Métis player for us. And, to see our Indigenous players make it to NHL, it's always a proud day. And so we're going to unveil a sign we're planning to do it on Family Night, but he cannot come. He's actually injured. I went to the Toronto game here. Thank you for, I'll say that to Rahul Agarwal for giving me 2 tickets. And I went to the game and had a chance to cheer on Toronto, even though I would have been cheering on Winnipeg, but my team, of course, is Boston. But anyways, Boston got a good licking from Winnipeg, by the way. I didn't like that. They didn't just beat them by 1 goal. They give them a hell of a beating.
What was it, 6-2 or something?
Yeah, my team in Boston is just crumbling like crazy, man. Anyways, but when I'm in Winnipeg at the arena, I cheer for Winnipeg. So, and then sometimes, I think Boston only comes once a year, and I walk in there with my Winnipeg jersey, and then I have my Boston Bruins cap on. And people laugh at me, and they think I'm very, very confused. Who to be cheering for? Anyways, but again, it's good to see again that our athletes are making it. You know, we have different athletes. Whether it's Kerry Anderson from Gimli, from Selkirk, who actually has won curling championships everywhere, and we unveiled their sign, I believe, already. So we're taking a lot of these professional athletes, and we're showing them our thank you and our honor to have them actually displayed in the public. So Connor Doer's sign will come up, but it won't be now on the family night, just for people that heard the news from August Telegraph that it was happening. It's not going to happen there. I want Connor to be there personally, and his grandma and his dad, of course, his family, and be there to see the pride from the people themselves of seeing our young athletes make it all the way to the top. And, you know, I would have loved to see them playing when I was in Toronto. That's one of the reasons I was going. And but he was on the injured list when I got there. So, but again, on other notes, as I said, we are still dealing with the veterans file. If people want to hear about that, I'll give you a better update. It is part of the court case here with the Métis National Council. As you know, for over 25 years, I led the charge on trying to fight for the recognition and apology and outstanding debt owed by Canada to their veterans. And we were able to achieve that. We are delivering the program efficiently and effectively, as we always do as the Métis government. And we are able, I'm so honored, we were able to get as many veterans as we can find and have them alive so we can honor them, not through just statues and memories after they've gone, but to personally give them a check for $20,000 on behalf of the Métis National Council we had a contract with to run this thing, but to ourselves and myself personally. So we worked very, very diligently on this file, and I had a lot of people helping me. Of course, Gloria Chartrand was right there beside me and working on this file with me for 25 years. But at the end of the day, we had our veterans there. You know, around my cabinet table right now, I have, I believe, 3 veterans. But John Fleury, Andrew Carrier was in the Navy, and Jack Park was from one of those guys that jump off with plane with parachutes. So I think I have 3 veterans, I believe. I think I'm correct, 3 for sure I know, around our cabinet today. So I want to thank the veterans. The premise about the veteran settlement, like, you know, people got to realize that hell came with that trip overseas to go and defend somebody they did not even know, and the consequences they paid with that, and Canada to treat them with such disdain upon their return was unbelievable. And a lot of them, of course, suffered PTSD, and that really damaged their entire, and they left this world too young, and because Canada abandoned them. So the argument right now is that MNC is saying, we're going to take the program away from MMF, we're going to deliver it ourselves, and they don't deliver programs. So that's part of a court argument we have right now with them. But it's not about missing money. But I want to make something clear here to people listening. And it's MNC has decided to pursue this case on their own. But understand this: there's nobody left at MNC. There's only Alberta and Ontario. The Métis Nation of Saskatchewan is left. MMF is left. MNBC is left. Yet these 2 provinces are taking on and taking the Federation to court. They're the ones trying to damage our name and reputation. And you look at it and ask yourself, why? Why would you be that foolish to take that position? Because at the end, you damage the entire Métis Federation and yourselves. Not the reputation is up in the media. I seen the CBC article today where they said the veteran agents coming to represent Canada on this program, and it said, you know, it had a top heading there, and it was really negative. But when you read the rest of the story, it's countered back that they didn't complain. There was no problems with the program as they're aware. There was no assignment to the program. It was actually an agreement. All these things, the agents later on revoked their initial story they started off with during Cross. So that's usually what happens. Like, we start ours, if people want to watch it, we start ours on Monday, probably, I would say, before 12, I hope. And I'll be on the stand for 6 days. But we have our opening, which Rahul will be presenting our arguments in our case, and again challenging our view that this was just a vindictive attempt to hurt the Federation, hurt my name, my brand, People know I'm very proud of my name, and so is the Métis people. That's who we are. We're very proud of our family names, and we do everything in our power to protect that. So I find it quite insulting that they're trying to do this to my name after look at 28 years in the Federation. I've never had a scandal in there in 28 years. And I'm near my retiring time, and now they're trying to destroy my name or hurt my name. So, and of course, Manitoba and Métis and our Red River citizens will never believe that, because my reputation stands for itself. My name, my handshake, my pride, and my commitment is there. I'm never going to change. And we've never had a scandal. And there's never been where there was corruption in the Federation government as long as I've been there. And so when you look at it from the perspective as president, I'm very proud of our record, and so is my cabinet. But the attempts of what the MNC is doing now, they don't even have a legitimate board anymore, but they're still going forward. And eventually, I think Canada's going to probably have to come in there to actually ask the question, like, who are you representing now? What is MNC now? And how can you be taking people to court? You don't even have a legitimate board anymore. So the question is, why are you still even there? So that will be coming up. Trust me, we're not going to just sit by and let people push us around and think they're going to get away with insulting the Federation and the Métis people of Red River. You're dreaming. Anybody who goes after the Red River Métis, you will be prepared. We're going to be coming right back. So we'll always defend our people no matter what. So again, I'll keep you guys posted on that. But if you want to watch it, check with the MMF. I'll see if they can put it on the website. They could look at that, and you could get to see our opening. As I said, I think they start off still with the MNC lawyers for it starts 10 o'clock our time here, 9 o'clock at home, and they'll be on this. They'll start off, I think, probably. They've been on. This has really been their case right now, because they take first kick at the cat, we'll call it, and they do all their witnesses, they do all their positions. We do cross examination and so forth. But our case will tell a story starting Monday, probably about, I would guess, before 12, I hope. And then from there, I'll be on a stand Tuesday, probably till 6 days. So you can watch your president answer questions, and they'll try to twist my words and, try to twist the sentence to make the sentence mean something else. So I'll have to be sharp enough to make sure they don't try to twist my statements or any of my comments I make to them and try to make it say, well, you meant this, you didn't mean this, right? So I've been in the courts before, and this not be the first time. I worked there for 10 years. So I'll be prepared for it, trust me. And one thing I could say publicly anywhere, anybody knows my name and knows me, you're not going to get a lie from me. I'm not going to bullshit to no one. I'm going to tell you the facts as I know them, and I'm going to be straightforward, because I do not steal, nor do I take anything that's not mine. Okay, well, you guys take care.
Definitely. Yeah,
and again, for those, the bridge funding program that's there, it's MMF putting up $2 million of our earnings that we've been able to achieve to our businesses, and we're giving a $5,000 grant to those that were apprehended in the 60 scoop era. But as you gave the years, Naomi, a 40-year span, and we can verify with the province if you were actually apprehended and you fit that criteria, we will give you a check for $5,000, and let's hope we are able to get the rest of the money later from Canada.
All right.
See you guys. Take care, everybody.
Take care. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye.